Hello there! Have you explored a lot in your CoreKeeper world? Are you lost and don't know what to do next? Well, don't worry, we got you on this video. First of all, CoreKeeper is a game of exploration. It is part of game mechanics, where you really have to explore. There are subtle clues on what to do, as not to totally spoil you. However, if despite that you can't still figure out, you can actually spoil yourself to let the game show you where you can find your next objectives. Here are some tips as you explore your world of CoreKeeper. I'm assuming by this point you are familiar with the core. Well, if not, it is always the center of your map. In any world generation, it is always at the center, and always with an ancient waypoint. Well, you can only use that using another ancient waypoint or any portal. If you've watched our previous episode, we'll be assuming you have defeated already Glurch and found your second ancient waypoint. Another tip that from us is that whenever you see ancient waypoint, it means you are near the boss spawn point. Another tip, we would suggest that you mark the boulders you see on your map. This would help you later to relocate it when you are now collecting for your materials or resources. Another tip from us, but only optional, is to mark the scene you found. Here are some scenes from the world we are playing. We even found a new content from the Void and Voltage update. Another great tip we offer is to mark the boss spawns. This is to avoid confusion later if you have build a lot or portal or you have moved your ancient waypoint. The boss spawn are those with some icon, like these two. Now, let's talk a bit about the biomes. As you explore, we are pretty sure you've noticed the shift on your environment. Well, that's because you have changes biomes. Let's start with the first biome, which is the underground. This is where you have been spawned at the beginning. In this biome, you usually get dirt block when mining the walls. The common ore in the first biome is the copper. In respect to progression of tools equipment, we would mention second biome is the clay cave. As the name suggests, you get clay blocks when mining the walls. Here you can get tin ores and some gold ores. A good thing to mention that under the cave biome, you might find a sub-biome, larva hive biome, which looks like this. This has very hard walls, and you definitely upgrade on your tools. We like to spoil that there's an optional boss here. We forgot to mention that sometimes in the underground, there could be sub-biome. The meadow biome. This is the light yellow land, and you might mistake it as sand on the map. In this biome, random cattle spawn. Do take note, cattle here do not respawn. However, you can breed them. And the last biome you can find inside the inner wall is the Forgotten Ruins. where you usually get stone block is mining the wall. Here you commonly found the iron ore, and some gold ore as well. You'll also find the boss spawn area for Malagas somewhere here. We've just showed you where we found ours. Lastly, we would like to mention the wall. It is literally the wall barrier that is not interactable at the moment. You're only able to take down this wall after you have progress a bit more. Which why? You were here, right? On to our main topic. The goal is to defeat the 3 inner bosses. In our case, we have already defeated Glurch, so the goal is to defeat the other 2, Gorm and Malagas. Gorm is easy to find. You just have to go either direction straight. Once you are around 190 to 210 tiles from the core, you're able to see his circular path. On our exploration, we have found its spawn. How to use it would be another topic that we will also share later. For reference, this is what Gorm looks like. Now, for Malagas, you need to find its spawn area. Malagas is not spawned by default. You have to summon it first and defeat. How? Well, that's for another video that we will share later. Now, if you are tired of looking where Gorm or Malagas is, don't worry, we got you. You can buy the Gorm scanner and Malagas scanner from the Glurch statue. You need ancient gemstones and mechanical part for this, which can be found destroying crates, looting boxes, and drop from the cavalings. To use the scanner, just put it in your quick inventory. Make sure it is the active item and use it. Once the glow finished, you can track now one of the bosses. Just now, we can see on the map where Gorm is. As you can see, Gorm is just circling its path. For Malagas, you'll be able to find its spawn area. What to do if you don't have the items to buy for the scanner. We want to share you a free map tool developed by Sedini. We'll share the link in the description and a video from Dakon as well on how to use the map tool. So here, using the tool is an exact copy of our mapped explored CoreKeeper. On this part, we knew that Malagas spawn is here. And this orange circle on the map is the Gorm path. On this tool, you can check the biome location. The inner black here would be the underground biome. The inner circle with the inner wall, the gray color, is the Forgotten Ruins, and the brown is the clay biome. Of course, inside the biomes are the sub-biome, but at the moment, to our knowledge, the tool will not be able to show you the sub-biome. For some advanced info, the green would be Azaos' Wilderness, the blue is the Sunken Sea, and lastly, the yellow, the Desert of Beginnings. Finally, using the tool, it can give you a hint where to explore for you to find the bosses. Starting with the first boss, you can find Glurch somewhere around the orange circle. And on our map, we already know that Glurch is somewhere here. Going far from the core, the next boss, Glurch, can be found on a larger circle. And last boss of Inner Circle, Malugas, can be found somewhere in the blue arc. And as you can see, we already know where Malugas spawn, and it is within the blue arc. For the other bosses, we can find them somewhere in their corresponding arc, but that would be for another video we'll be tackling on. And that's it! You know now how to progress. Till next time!